What's going on, Cubs fam? We are back for another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video. I have got some potentially exciting news for you guys today. Reading between the lines a little bit of what CG has said recently, I think we may have a clue on when Galactic Challenges is going to hit, and it is pretty soon, ladies and gentlemen. And we're also going to talk a little bit more about Mon Mothma and her kind of effect on Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. And to talk about this, I have brought on the legendary It's Just Ian. What's going on, Ian? I got some intro music here for you. Can you
intro music?
Walk
Let's
like
go,
you're
baby.
coming down the hallway. Yeah, it's like you got your basketball. You're getting ready. You're shooting some hoops.
Yeah, I love shooting hoops, man. I'm a b-ball player.
Dude, I know you are. You're a big Jazz guy too. That's good stuff.
Love me the Jazz.
Yeah.
Where you go, Bear?
So let me read this post, Ian. I want to see if you see this the same way I do. We haven't talked much about this. I just basically like pulled Ian in this video and didn't tell him anything. So
It's all good.
we got this post here from Crumb that talks about something that seems seemingly insignificant to anyone who's not looking to transfer their account right now. Within the terms of service, transfer it to yourself, right? We wouldn't want to break in the terms of service. We wanted to notify you in advance that our account transfer between platforms feature will be temporarily disabled to remain compliant with platform policies. Not sure what that means, but this is what I want to call out. This change will likely occur with our next client update scheduled for early August. Do those words, Ian, next client update, raise your eyebrows at all?
They kind of do. Not gonna lie, they kind of do.
Okay, well, tell me why.
Yeah, well, I think you never know. We could get some nice little big update coming here with our little Galactic Challenges. I could see that happening. With this, I think it can be. I think it's in the view. It's in the picture here. I don't think it's that far-fetched, honestly.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see. I'm kind of curious to see if that's going to be the case because it's almost August, right? So we'll have to see.
Yeah, and just for clarification, there are a couple different kinds of updates that we see to this game. At least once a week, typically, we see what's called a hot fix, where you don't have to update your game. You just have the game says the client needs to restart, and maybe they add, a new character or an announcement or something like that. But a client update is when you have to actually download a new version of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. And that is absolutely the kind of update that will need to happen to add the UI for something like Galactic Challenges. And so the only thing that I'm thinking of, I'd like to get your thoughts on this, Ian, is since the road ahead a month ago, it's been a month since they told us, by the way, almost to the day, a month. We haven't had any follow-up posts, and so do you think that you'd expect more slow drip information, or do you think they're just going to drop it on us and say go for it?
See, I'm not sure about the fully thought out plan of the Galactic Challenges. I would assume it would be, though, because of how much time, I guess you could say, how much time they've had to prep for it and to release it.
Right.
I'm thinking about old road aheads and how long from the road ahead until the actual content came out. And I can't really recall like the time frame between those two, but I think it wasn't that long. I think it would have been like around like this time frame, like a month, maybe 2 months. So I think it is something that we can see like all fully fleshed out. Galactic Challenges, boom, there we go. Because it's kind of funny that we just got a tier 3 of the assault battles and some other stuff. I can definitely see this being added into the picture because it's like a lot more content, honestly, with the amount of stuff you have to do if you want to toss in tier 3, which is like a whole other thing with assault battles, which takes a lot of time. I mean, thinking about tier 2 and tier 3, like what is that, almost an hour of playtime if you actually do beat it. And then now we'll have Galactic Challenges. There's gonna be so much things to do, I feel like. So I think it's definitely in the picture for having this actually be out soon, like all playable stuff. Not just like hinting at more. So
I hope so. I hope you're right. I have to be honest. I feel like my personal expectations were that it would be that it wouldn't be here quite this early, which is kind of funny to say because we got the post. I think about this and I think we got the post a month ago. Like that's A month is a pretty reasonable amount of time. If anything, that seems like a long time to wait after they initially announce something. But it's just, I just feel like we're used to things not coming fast in this game. And then also you had, I think it was the Galactic War report had Crumb on, and he painted a picture of like a 3-month time frame. And so part of me would be surprised if it's here, but I don't know. Next client update, I feel like the next client update's got to be Galactic Challenges. So I think that we might have this in August.
It's got to be something that's not just like a small thing. I think it's gonna be something pretty monumental. I would hope so. Like something that's pretty big. If it is that or not, I don't know. We'll have to see, I guess.
I think that's the only monumental thing they could do, and hopefully it is monumental. If it's, I mean,
so.
man, we
cross our fingers out here.
I'm cheering for you, CG. I'm cheering for you. All right, I want to shift the conversation, Ian, and get some of your thoughts on Mon Mothma. Do you think she's worth the whale? How are you feeling about her from your perspective? And just to kind of fill the Cubs fan in a little bit, Ian is much more of a theory crafting guru than myself, and so I really trust your perspective on this. I haven't had a chance to talk to you about it yet, so I wanted to hear what you thought.
That's a lot of pressure, Cubs, but
so much.
Okay, yeah. So Mon Mothma is pretty awesome, to say the least. The thing about her, though, is you kind of need some other janky, almost close to trash characters.
Yeah.
Because I just did a recent video about POW and this whole team and the TM that you'll be getting and like some potential looping happening. And it's POW. Like, who's going to have a POW built up? And not many people will. But just herself, I think it's a great character, and it opens up a pretty huge door for a new sub-faction, which is the Rebel Fighters. So also with new troopers coming, I can see kind of two, sides of the field there, with new troopers being pretty awesome and pretty awesome in like defense, I guess, offense, whatever it may be. And then you have the Rebel Fighters that same thing, right? That we just got either Chewbacca, we're going to have this Mon Mothma. I can definitely see some new Rebel Fighters as well. I mean, just two sides of the field there. We are going to have a pretty good Empire team, which will be the EP Vader, and we're going to have a pretty good Rebels, and then adding that on to both factions. I think Mon Mothma is pretty good, but it could be even better with new characters added into the whole, list of whatever. I don't know. I think it might be a little bit too early to say, though, because we don't have that many good Rebel Fighters, in my opinion. They've been really outdated characters. But I do think there's some good potential there, because there's a lot of revives happening. There's a lot of extra assists happening. It's kind of like a Geos with a Night Sisters mixed into one. So that's pretty interesting. But the thing I'm not too sure about is how they're going to be played out in the future, because these are like really old characters that not many people have, like Wiggs, Chase, POW, some of the Hoth Rebel guys, a lot of old people. I'm not too sure. We'll have to see.
Well, very good take, and a lot that I want to digest from what you just said. I think that was a great summary. I want to show you. Actually, you're not able to see, so you're just going to have to take my word for it. But I did get Mon Mothma. I've got her sitting at gear 12 right now, and I've got my boy POW at gear 12.
Oh, did you get him up? Oh my
He's
gosh.
at gear 12.
Well, you know what? He's not that slow. He's kind of he's like a pretty decently speedy character, actually, which is kind of cool.
Oh yeah, he's at 214 speed right now for me, with only 69 from mods.
I think his
I should leave him there forever.
165.
Yeah, that's pretty quick. So I don't have the Zeta yet. For
Does he have a Zeta?
Yeah, his Zeta is what gives him that turn meter.
Oh my gosh, I did not know that.
Yep. So that might be my next Zeta, but I also, for Mon Mothma, I don't have the This Is Our Rebellion Zeta, which is where she can't be targeted. I went for the leadership first, and so I'm gonna have a debate between those two. But I think the really interesting thing you brought up that I want to call out. And let's see here. Do I have a Galactic War? You know what I'm gonna do? We're gonna show some glorious Galactic War footage with full Rebel Fighters here. Let's put my boy POW in there. What I'm interested in, what you said, is that the potential for new Rebel Fighters, and I think this would make a lot of sense, both from a game standpoint and just from the perspective of, we need. There's just not that many great Rebel Fighters right now in the game, but then also from a business standpoint, doesn't it make sense to throw Mon Mothma out there, let people go whale on her, and then say, all right, here's a Rebel Fighter that's going to take her to the next level? So I wonder if we'd see new Rebel Fighters, and if we do, who would we see as a Rebel Fighter?
I mean, just looking at it from like the first few days that she's been out, probably not hasn't been that long. But from the limited testing that I've seen of people, using her, I think the one thing that we're missing is a good solid tank. And I think if we get that tank, we'll be pretty good. I know Kara is a tank and she can revive, but I think it's just not enough. And I think that she'll be actually set and used for a different Mando team in the future down the line. And also, I think we're lacking some DPS, not too much, because actually the Bigs and the Wedge, they deal some pretty huge damage. Turret can as well. But I think a little bit more of those two things, a little bit more tanking, a little bit more attacking is pretty good. I think the support's already there with Mon Mothma herself. Yeah. And you can, I guess, toss in, Turret as well. He does both attacking and he can heal and cleanse and stuff like that. But I think you're going to need some more damage output on that team, and perhaps potentially some more of the tanks, and just like some more, because the Rebel Fighter guy, whenever you call him into assist, or whatever his name is, I forget, the Mon Mothma guy that she brings in, that guy does not taunt. So it would be nice to have an additional taunter there to stop some of your attackers from getting hit at all. So we'll have to see.
You know who they need to bring in?
Oh, who is it?
Do you know who they need to bring in? They need to bring in our boy. Our boy. If we're gonna bring in a new Rebel Fighter, here, hold on, I'm gonna pull him up right now. We need to bring in our boy Porkins, Jack Porkins, goodness. New Rebel Fighter, a tank. This is the opportunity, Capital Games. This is Porkins' moment. Bring him to the game, or I walk.
Or you walk? Oh my god.
No, I'm just playing. I'm not gonna play that game.
Instantly have him in the game after this video's live.
Instantly, yeah.
That's the client update we were talking about. That's him.
Dude,
Porkins is coming in the game.
How much would you wail on Jack Porkins, man? Like, dude,
I mean, watch him come in the game and have ridiculous synergy with the Wigs. That would be awesome. I would wail, and I would get them both. I guess all three of them Relic 7 instantly. For sure.
Dude. It's a Rebel Fighter we all deserve. The Rebel Fighter we all deserve. So, all right, there you have it. It's just Ian. Thank you so much for coming on the channel. It's been too long since I had you on. Always great having you. Tell everyone where they can find you.
So I do some YouTube over my channel. It's just Ian. If you guys want to type it in, I do a lot of videos, kind of like Cubs, kind of like Arnold, a lot of theory crafting, a lot of counters, just talking about the game and whatever. It's kind of fun. I like it. Go check it out if you guys want to.
Best way I describe Ian is he is like Arnold and I, only he has a much better Galaxy of Heroes brain, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. So go check him out.
You too,
really appreciate you coming on, and as always, my brothers, don't forget,